in a heated rivalry with abundance goes to colorless-type Pokemon, as opposed to water-type Pokemon. Colorless Pokemon are... I don't know why they called them colorless in the first place, but they're basically the normal-type Pokemon in the game. That's pretty much it. Later on, like in the earlier sets, like around now, they can also be used as Dragon-type, but that really doesn't exist now, so whatever, it's just colorless-type for now. Can also be used for flying as well, I believe, if I remember correctly. But alright, let's get this underway. Alright, first up we have Vendor Trash. I mean, Rattata. No, I was right the first time. Alright, basically 30 HP, not good at all, obviously. Fighting weakness is kind of a pain. Hitmonchan could just punch it. Like, he doesn't even have to punch it, he just jab it once and it's dead. But, Bite's a pretty good attack for just 20 damage and 1 energy. It's basically a low kick. Resistance to Psychic, though, that's probably the strongest point about Rattata, and it's, Retreat Custom 0. In the base set, just a common card, and, probably a common card within the booster bag as well. Alright, up next, the evolved form of Rattata, which is Raticate. Again, not too great on the HP there, and a weakness to fighting is awful. But, that resistance to Psychic and the 1 retreat cost is pretty good. Bite's the same exact attack, and, Super Bang is actually really cool. It's the only attack that I know of that has a question mark for damage. Basically what it does is it does damage to the defending Pokemon equal to half the defending Pokemon's remaining HP. So, say you had, you were fighting a Gyarados or something, and it has 100 HP. If you use Super Fang for 3 colorless energies, it would take out 50 health, which is pretty good. It's really good for taking down like Chansey and stuff, and anything with like really high HP. But other than that, I would say pass on it because it's not really that strong otherwise. Alright, up next we have Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff, I don't really like this Jigglypuff too much. I like the Jigglypuff that you find exclusively in the Game Boy game better. But, this one's not too bad. 60 HP for a basic Pokemon, again, is good. I'm gonna be saying this a lot, but the fighting weakness kinda sucks a lot, but the psychic resistance, it's awesome. Retreat to Costa 1 is pretty good, too. Lullaby always puts the opponent to sleep if you have an energy on it, so that's pretty good, too. And Pound is just your standard, 20 damage for 2 energy attack. Alright, the evolved form of Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff. 80 HP is, again, pretty good for a Stage 1 card. Fighting weakness, kick resistance, 2 retreat costs, which is, it's iffy, but, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Wigglytuff also still has Lullaby, which is an awesome sleep move. Sleep is always nice to have on the opponent, just to be obnoxious. Do the Wave is a really interesting attack. Basically what it does is, it does 10 damage plus 10 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon. So, if you have, I think it's if you have like 6 Pokemon total on your side of the field, I think it does 70 damage or something like that. I think that's how it works out. But that's why I like using the other Jigglypuff. The other Jigglypuff has a move called Friendship Song. I'll go over that later. But yeah, this Jigglypuff, or this Wigglytuff rather, is actually pretty decent for what it is. Okay, up next is a Pokemon card that's a little bit hard to explain. Meowth. This Meowth specifically, actually came out as an English card, a promo. I actually have one from a Pokemon trading card leagues that they had way back when they had them at Toys R Us and whatnot. And its attack in the game is different than the attack it has like in the real world, I guess you want to put it. Its Cat Punch attack does 20 damage, but it does 20 damage to a random Pokemon on the opponent's side of the field, which is not what this card does that I have. That one's flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 20 damage. If tails, your opponent has any bench Pokemon, choose one of them, does 20 damage to that. Other than that, everything's exactly the same. 2 colorless energy, 50 HP, the image is right. It's not hollow, but it's got the weakness, resistance, and retreat cost. Again, I actually prefer the other Meowth more, simply for the draw power, but we'll go over that later. Oh boy, if you want to talk stall, you gotta be talking Chansey. Chansey has the highest HP in the game, 120 HP. And, oh my goodness, this thing is just a stalling beast. Scrunch, 2 colorless energy to throw down double colorless energy. You flip a coin if heads, prevent all damage done to Chansey during your opponent's next turn. It can still be paralyzed and stuff, which is still crazy though, because it has 120 HP. It can be easily comboed with the trainer's Scoop Up, which basically brings Pokemon back to your hand that have been damaged or whatever. Double Edge, no one really uses Double Edge. It's really just to sit there and just stall forever and ever. But Double Edge is an awful attack. It does 80 damage to yourself, even though it does 80 damage to another, or to the opponent. Again, fighting weakness, resistance of 30. 1 retreat cost, though, which is pretty good for, what it is, just this fat pink blob thing that just sits there and takes damage all day. But, yeah, it's a really, really rare card, too, though, so if you get a chance, maybe you want to use it. Alright, up next is Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is a very interesting card. It's one of the very few cards in the game that can actually make you draw extra cards from your deck. That's mostly the reason why I would use it, because Comet Punch isn't really that good of an attack. It's another coin flip attack, and it's only 20 damage, and it costs 4 energy, which is a lot. Fetch is really good, because it's just 1 energy, and you just draw a card. That's all the attack does, which is really good for deck thinning and whatnot. 90 HP is actually really, really good. Normal types consistently have high HP. I don't really know why, but they just kind of do. Fighting weakness, psychic resistance, same old, same old. 3 retreat costs, though, which is kind of a lot. Well, it is a lot. But if you don't really see too many people calling back Kangaskhan anyway. All they do is just draw until it dies, so I would personally recommend it if you want to get more cards in your hand at a time. Alright, and the last colorless Pokemon of the Colosseum Booster Pack would be Snorlax. Snorlax is really interesting that its Pokemon Power Thick Skin prevents it from getting status. It can't be asleep, confused, paralyzed, or poisoned. But I guess it's just stock as for the Pokemon powers, they always put this power can't be used if whatever Pokemon is asleep, confused, or paralyzed, which is impossible, so I don't know how that paradox works exactly, but that is there. A lot of people just kind of let Snorlax sit there and just take damage until they scoop it up, because Body Slam's really costly for not that much payoff. And I don't know if you saw the giant line of stars down his retreat cost. He has 4 retreat costs, which is the most in the game. Absolutely ridiculous, totally not worth calling him back, totally not worth wasting a switch. And fighting psychic weakness, you know, same old, same old. Alright, but that's going to be it for the colorless Pokemon. Alright, there's going to be a link, once again, in the bottom right-hand corner of the image right there. So you can go back to the menu and pick a different type or a different club member if you do so choose. Alright, but until next time, guys, Bush51, peace out.